What ancient quantum secrets are being deliberately hidden from humanity as our planet approaches critical thermodynamic collapse? Could the suppressed knowledge of quantum manifestation be the key to both personal awakening and planetary survival? The camera opens on a dimly lit room filled with crystals and scientific equipment. Charts showing climate data scrolling in the background. Welcome quantum wanderers to another journey into the forbidden realms of consciousness and cosmic manipulation. I am your guide through the veils of deception that separate us from the ultimate truth about reality creation. Today we're diving deep into the quantum abyss to uncover the manifestation method that the powers that be desperately want to keep buried beneath layers of scientific materialism and spiritual commercialization. But first, let me share something that will shake you to your quantum core. Every 20 minutes, we lose another species to extinction 3. Our planet's magnetic field is weakening at an accelerating rate, and the thermodynamic equilibrium that has sustained human civilization for millennia is collapsing before our very eyes. Yet, in this moment of unprecedented crisis, ancient knowledge holders knew something that modern quantum physicists are only now beginning to understand. Consciousness itself is the fundamental force that shapes reality. Pause for dramatic effect. Ambient music shifts to a deeper frequency. The quantum deception matrix. For decades, mainstream science has told us that consciousness is merely an emergent property of brain chemistry, a cosmic accident with no real power to influence the material world. But what if I told you that this narrative was deliberately constructed to keep humanity disconnected from its most fundamental superpower? The truth is that quantum manifestation operates on principles that would revolutionize not just personal transformation, but our entire approach to the ecological catastrophe engulfing our planet. When ancient shamans spoke of becoming one with the elements, they weren't speaking metaphorically. They understood quantum entanglement at a cellular level. Dramatic music builds as charts showing quantum field equations appear. Here's what they don't want you to know. Your thoughts aren't just electrical impulses firing in your brain. According to quantum field theory, every thought creates a measurable disturbance in the zero-point field, the quantum vacuum that underlies all of reality. When you think, you're literally reaching into the realm of infinite possibilities and selecting which timeline becomes your experienced reality. But here's where it gets both hilarious and terrifying. Most people are unconsciously manifesting the very destruction they fear. Every time you scroll through climate doom on social media while feeling helpless, you're quantum entangling yourself with the timeline of ecological collapse. The irony is so thick you could cut it with a vibrating crystal. Revelation 1. The Observer Effect Revolution. The first secret they're hiding involves the observer effect, but not the watered-down version you've heard about in pop science documentaries. True quantum observation requires what ancient mystics called witnessing consciousness, a state where you simultaneously exist inside and outside the reality you're experiencing. 14. When quantum physicists discovered that particles exist in superposition until observed, they accidentally stumbled upon what Tibetan monks have known for millennia. Reality is a collaborative creation between consciousness and the quantum field. But here's the survival twist. Our collective observation is currently locked onto frequencies of scarcity, fear, and environmental destruction. Think about it. If 8 billion humans are unconsciously observing and expecting ecological collapse, what reality are we collectively manifesting? The mass extinction coefficients we're witnessing aren't just natural phenomena. They're the physical manifestation of our species' traumatized collective consciousness. 3. Voice drops to a whisper, then builds again. But here's where the pattern interrupt occurs. What if we could shift our collective observation to timelines where humanity awakens to its role as planetary healers? What if quantum manifestation isn't just about getting your dream job, but about literally shifting the Earth into a parallel dimension where regeneration replaces destruction? Revelation 2. The frequency conspiracy. The second suppressed truth involves vibrational frequency. And I'm not talking about good vibes only Instagram spirituality. I'm talking about measurable electromagnetic signatures that your body broadcasts 24/7 into the quantum field. Your nervous system is essentially a biological radio transmitter, constantly broadcasting your internal state to the 0-point field 4. When you're in states of fear, anxiety, or despair about the future, you're literally tuning into the frequency of civilizational collapse. But when you embody the frequency of someone who already lives in a regenerated world, you become a quantum beacon for that timeline. Ancient sages understood that thermodynamic principles govern both consciousness and climate. Just as entropy increases in closed systems, traumatized consciousness creates increasing disorder in both personal and planetary systems. But consciousness operating from coherence, what we might call quantum coherence, actually decreases entropy and creates what physicists call negative entropy, or information that builds rather than destroys. Laughs mysteriously. The cosmic joke is that while everyone's trying to save the planet through external action alone, the most powerful tool for planetary regeneration is sitting right between your ears. Your coherent consciousness doesn't just attract better personal circumstances, it literally helps stabilize the Earth's magnetic field and atmospheric systems through quantum entanglement. Revelation 3. The timeline selection mechanism. Here's where quantum manifestation gets really wild. You're not creating your reality from scratch. You're selecting which pre-existing timeline to experience. The many worlds interpretation of quantum mechanics suggests that all possible realities exist simultaneously in parallel dimensions 10. Your consciousness is like a radio dial, tuning into specific frequencies of experience. Most manifestation teachings get this backwards. They tell you to visualize what you want as if it doesn't exist yet. But true quantum manifestation involves recognizing that the reality you desire already exists in the quantum field. You're simply choosing to observe and embody the version of yourself that lives there. This isn't just personal development philosophy, it's survival technology. Right now, there are parallel Earths where humanity successfully navigated this ecological transition. There are timelines where we developed consciousness-based technologies that work in harmony with natural systems. The question isn't whether these realities exist. The question is whether we have the quantum courage to align with them. Voice becomes more urgent, but here's the catch. Timeline selection requires what quantum physicists call measurement, a definitive choice that collapses possibility into actuality. Most people are stuck in quantum limbo, simultaneously wanting change while unconsciously choosing the familiar timeline of gradual decay. Revelation 4. The emotional entanglement protocol. The fourth hidden truth involves emotional quantum entanglement, the way your feelings literally entangle you with corresponding realities across parallel dimensions. This isn't metaphor, this is quantum field dynamics operating through human consciousness. When you feel gratitude for a regenerated planet before it's physically manifested, you're creating quantum entanglement between your current timeline and that desired reality one. Your emotions aren't just internal experiences. They're quantum signals that communicate your timeline preferences to the universe. Ancient Earthkeepers knew that human emotions directly influence natural systems through morphic resonance. When tribal communities would enter collective states of gratitude and reverence for the land, they were literally quantum entangling their consciousness with the thriving, abundant timelines of their bioregion. But our modern emotional state is catastrophically misaligned. We're emotionally entangled with narratives of collapse, scarcity, and powerlessness every time you feel despair about climate change without simultaneously feeling the excitement of solutions. You're reinforcing your entanglement with the collapsed timeline. Chuckles softly. The cosmic comedy is that the very people most concerned about saving the planet are often the most emotionally entangled with its destruction. It's like trying to swim to shore while holding onto an anchor of environmental anxiety. Revelation 5, the consciousness climate feedback loop. Here's Revelation 5, and it's going to blow your quantum mind. Consciousness and climate exist in a direct feedback loop through the Earth's electromagnetic field. Your brainwaves don't just influence your personal reality. They contribute to the planet's overall electromagnetic signature, which influences weather patterns, magnetic field stability, and even solar interactions. The Earth's Schumann resonance, the electromagnetic frequency of our planet, is directly influenced by the collective consciousness of all life forms. When humanity operates from coherent, heart-centered consciousness, we literally stabilize planetary systems. When we operate from fear and fragmentation, we contribute to atmospheric and magnetic instability 16. This means that quantum manifestation isn't just about personal transformation. It's about planetary restoration through consciousness evolution. Every time you successfully shift from fear to love, from scarcity to abundance, from despair to empowerment, you're not just changing your life, you're contributing to the quantum field that influences global systems. Ancient prophecies speak of a time when humanity would awaken to its role as planetary stewards through consciousness alone. What if we're living in that time right now? What if the climate crisis is actually a consciousness crisis? A quantum test to see if our species can evolve beyond separation-based thinking. Revelation 6, the Morphic Resonance Accelerator. The sixth suppressed secret involves morphic resonance, the way conscious breakthroughs in one individual can instantaneously influence the entire human collective. British biologist Rupert Sheldrake discovered that when enough individuals learn a new skill or consciousness state, it becomes easier for everyone else to access that same capability. In quantum manifestation terms, this means that every person who successfully aligns with regenerative timelines makes it easier for others to access those same realities. We're not just manifesting for ourselves, we're creating quantum pathways that the entire human species can follow. The survival matrix indicates that we're approaching what systems theorists call a phase transition. A moment when the entire system rapidly shifts to a new level of organization, just as water suddenly transforms to steam at a precise temperature. Human consciousness appears to be approaching a quantum threshold where manifestation becomes exponentially more powerful and rapid. Voice becomes more intense. But here's the pattern interrupt. This transition requires a critical mass of individuals who can hold coherent vision while the old reality structure dissolves around them. You're not just learning manifestation techniques, you're becoming part of a planetary nervous system that's learning to dream a new world into existence. Revelation 7, the Sacred Rebellion Protocol. Revelation 7 reveals why this knowledge has been suppressed. Quantum manifestation represents the ultimate threat to systems of control. When individuals realize they can directly influence reality through consciousness, they become ungovernable when they understand that scarcity is a manufactured illusion maintained through collective belief. Economic manipulation becomes impossible. The controllers of the old paradigm need you to believe that you're powerless, that change must come from external authorities, that consciousness is just brain chemistry with no real influence over material reality. They need you focused on problems rather than solutions, on fear rather than creative possibility. But ancient Earth wisdom traditions knew that consciousness is the primary creative force in the universe. Indigenous peoples worldwide practiced reality shaping through ceremony, vision questing, and collective dreaming. They understood that consciousness and matter exist in a constant dance of mutual influence. Laughs with knowing irony. The beautiful rebellion is that every time you successfully manifest through quantum principles, you're proving that the materialist paradigm is incomplete. Every time you shift your reality through consciousness alone, you're demonstrating that humans are far more powerful than the control systems want us to believe. Revelation 8. The Galactic Synchronization Window. Here's where things get cosmically wild. We're currently in what Mayan timekeepers called a galactic synchronization window, a period when the Earth's consciousness evolution is synchronized with larger cosmic cycles. Our solar system is moving through a more energetically charged region of the galaxy, amplifying the power of consciousness-based manifestation. Ancient astronomers understood that consciousness evolution occurs in cycles connected to celestial mechanics. The current ecological crisis isn't random. It's a precisely timed catalyst designed to trigger rapid consciousness evolution in our species. The extinction probability calculations show that we're being forced to evolve or die, and evolution, in this case, means awakening to our quantum manifestation capabilities. This cosmic timing explains why manifestation seems to be working faster and more dramatically for many people. The quantum field itself is becoming more responsive to conscious intention as we move through this galactic transition. What once took years to manifest can now occur in months, weeks, or even days for those aligned with natural cycles. But here's the cosmic joke. The very systems threatening our survival are also accelerating our awakening. Crisis creates the pressure necessary for consciousness evolution. The planet isn't being destroyed, it's being transformed, and we're being invited to participate in that transformation through conscious co-creation. Revelation 9, the Quantum Healing Matrix. The ninth revelation connects quantum manifestation directly to planetary healing through what ancient traditions called medicine work. The recognition that personal healing and planetary healing are quantum entangled processes. When you heal your relationship with abundance, you help heal economic systems based on artificial scarcity. When you heal your connection to natural cycles, you help restore ecological balance through morphic resonance. When you heal your sense of powerlessness, you contribute to the collective empowerment necessary for species-level transformation. The survival matrix indicates that we need approximately 144,000 individuals operating from coherent quantum manifestation principles to reach the tipping point for planetary transformation. This isn't arbitrary. It's based on calculations of how many coherent consciousness nodes are needed to influence the Earth's overall electromagnetic signature. Voice becomes deeply mystical. Ancient sages understood that individual awakening and planetary awakening are mirrors of each other. The medicine you need for your personal healing is connected to the medicine the Earth needs for her regeneration. Your quantum manifestation practice isn't separate from environmental activism. It is environmental activism at the deepest level. Revelation 10, the Timeline Convergence Prophecy. The final revelation is perhaps the most mind-bending. We're approaching what quantum cosmologists call a timeline convergence, a moment when all possible futures collapse into a single, collectively chosen reality. The many worlds are merging back into one world, and we get to vote with our consciousness about which world that will be. This explains why manifestation is becoming both more powerful and more crucial. We're not just manifesting personal desires, we're participating in the collective manifestation of humanity's future. The timeline we align with individually contributes to the timeline we experience collectively. The extinction probability calculations show that we have approximately 7 years to reach critical mass in consciousness evolution. Either enough humans awaken to quantum manifestation principles to shift us into regenerative timelines, or we continue manifesting destruction through unconscious fear-based thinking. But here's the ultimate pattern interrupt. This isn't pressure. It's invitation. The universe doesn't need us to save it through struggle and sacrifice. It needs us to remember our true nature as conscious co-creators and step into our role as planetary gardeners through the joy of conscious manifestation. Music builds to crescendo, the quantum shaman's call to action. So here we are, quantum warriors, standing at the threshold between worlds. You now know the secrets they don't want you to know. That consciousness is the fundamental creative force. That your thoughts and emotions directly influence reality. That you're not a powerless victim of circumstances, but a quantum co-creator of experience. But knowledge without application is just entertainment. The real question is, what are you going to do with this forbidden wisdom? Will you continue unconsciously manifesting the same patterns of limitation and fear that keep both you and the planet trapped in cycles of suffering? Or will you embrace your role as a quantum shaman, someone who bridges the worlds of science and spirit to heal both personal and planetary trauma? The choice is yours, but choose quickly. The timeline convergence waits for no one. Every moment you delay in stepping into your manifestation mastery is a moment the old paradigm maintains its grip on collective reality. Remember, you're not alone in this quantum rebellion. Across the planet, awakening souls are remembering their power, practicing these principles and contributing to the morphic field of transformation. You're part of a planetary nervous system that's learning to dream consciously. The Earth is calling for quantum shamans, individuals who can navigate between dimensions of possibility and anchor regenerative timelines into physical reality. She's calling for conscious manifestors who understand that personal abundance and planetary abundance are quantum entangled. Voice becomes a whisper, then builds to powerful conclusion. The method they don't want you to know isn't just about getting what you want. It's about becoming who you really are. And who you really are is a cosmic being temporarily focused through human form, capable of influencing reality through the sheer power of aligned consciousness. So step into that power, practice these principles. Manifest not just for yourself, but for all life. Become the quantum bridge between the world that's dying and the world that's being born. The future is literally in your consciousness. Choose wisely, manifest boldly, and remember, you came here for this exact moment of transformation. Until we meet again in the quantum field, keep manifesting miracles and healing worlds through the magnificent power of awakened consciousness. The revolution is quantum, and you are the catalyst. Music fades to ambient cosmic sounds. Remember to like, subscribe, and share this forbidden knowledge with other quantum rebels ready to transform both their lives and our planet. The algorithm may try to suppress this truth, but consciousness always finds a way. See you in the next transmission from the Quantum Underground.